All right, so here are the ingredients we're going to use for this mac and cheese. So let me tell you what we have here. So let's start off here. We have some butter here. Right here I have a block of cheddar cheese. And right here I have smoked Gouda cheese. Now I do recommend you use 2 types of cheese, or you can use just all cheddar. But I like to use 2 types of cheeses, sometimes 3 types of cheeses, but definitely 2 types of cheeses when I cook my macaroni. If you don't have some cheddar cheese in that mix, to me it's not really macaroni. I mean, you could call it that, but that macaroni needs that cheddar cheese. And I also have some elbow macaroni, it's like a pound of it, some grated Parmesan, some all-purpose flour, some chicken broth, whole milk, salt, half and half, pepper. We got some thick cut bacon here. And guys, let me show you who the star of the show is. Conecuh sausage. Now, let me tell you something. If you're not from Alabama, you probably don't know about this Conecuh sausage. Or if you're not from like Louisiana or down there in, lower Mississippi, you may not know about Conecuh. But if you haven't had Conecuh sausage, you haven't had any sausage. This is, to me, the best sausage that I've tasted. I love Conecuh sausage, and I'm gonna show you a couple different recipes using Conecuh sausage. But today we're gonna use Conecuh sausage with the mac and cheese. But guys, get you some Conecuh sausage. It's originated in Evergreen, Alabama. Just in case you wanna know, they've been around for 70 plus years. Conecuh sausage is the sausage to go to. All right, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what I've done here is I've chopped 6 slices of bacon. I chopped them into little bitty pieces like this. Like I say, you can chop them as small as you want them, but I want mine to be a little bit meatier. And also have 8 ounces of that sliced Conecuh sausage. And I sliced them, about that thin. Like I say, it's up to you how thick you want it, but I just meaty enough for me to, taste it. That's how I want it. So this is 8 ounces of sliced sausage. Now you can use any type of sausage you want to, but I like this sausage because it has a lot of flavor in it. It's gonna add more flavor to the macaroni. And of course, we already know the type of flavor bacon adds. So we got about 6 slices of bacon, but you can use less bacon if you want. If you don't like, the pork bacon, you can also use turkey bacon. All right. So these are the ingredients we're going to use for this next step. So let's go ahead and move on. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat our skillet up, kind of bring that up to temperature. Let it heat up for about 1 to 2 minutes. All right. So let's go ahead and add about a tablespoon of olive oil and let that bring that up to temperature. All right. So now we're going to add our sausage. And we're gonna cook these until they, about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, until they're, cooked thoroughly. All right, so I think we're there now. This is how I want these babies to look. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn this off right here real quick. Now, what you could have done, you could have cooked your bacon in the same pan at the same time, but what I didn't want the bacon or one or the other to cook faster than the other, because I wanted to have a certain type of texture. I don't want my bacon to be too crispy, so that's why I'm cooking them in separate batches. So we're gonna put this over here, and guys, this is what we have right here. All right, so let me go ahead and crank that back up. It's already hot since we hadn't really left it off too long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add our bacon. So it still should be hot. And we're gonna get this spreaded around here also. Same thing with our bacon. No particular time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, just depending on how hot you have your fire or your heat. And we're just gonna move this around till we get it to the desired texture we want it. All right, guys, we're almost there. A couple more minutes. All right, so I think that we are good. This is how I want my bacon, not too crispy. I'm gonna turn this off. Now, guys, remember, you want yours crispy, you can do that too, but I want mine to be a little bit meatier. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take these bad babies out of here and I'm just gonna stick them in this bowl here. And this is what we have. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. All right, so we're gonna start preparing our cheese sauce for the mac and cheese. So let me tell you what I have here. I have a cup of half and half, 2 cups of whole milk. I have a half a cup of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups of freshly grated cheddar cheese, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of that Gouda, smoked Gouda cheese, and a half a cup of the shredded Parmesan. Now, guys, I recommend that you use fresh deli cheese. Don't go by the cheese that's in the prepackaged shredded cheese. It doesn't melt well. So get you some fresh deli cheese, block cheese, and shred it yourself, okay? All right, let's move on. All right, so let's start preparing our cheese mix. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop our 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're gonna let this bad baby melt in here. All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start adding our flour. And what we wanna do is we just wanna kind of mix that together now for about 1 minute. Now you don't wanna burn this, so you wanna turn it down if you have to. Also, I'm gonna add another tablespoon of butter. Looks like I may need another tablespoon of butter in here. We're just gonna move that butter around in here like that and making sure that we incorporate this flour. What you wanna look for is you want this smooth, milky consistency. Like I say, you're gonna do this for about a minute. All right, guys, so now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start adding the rest of our liquid ingredients. I'm gonna add this chicken broth along with our half and half. We're gonna start adding that too. And we're gonna get this all mixed up. And we're gonna go ahead and add our 2 cups of milk too. And we're gonna let this cook on low for about 10 minutes to let it kind of thicken up a little bit. It's gonna thicken up just a little bit before we add the rest of the ingredients. So we're gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes. And you wanna make sure you continue to stir this throughout this 10 minutes. You wanna prevent it from, scorching or burning. You wanna just make sure you keep an eye on it. Don't walk away from it. Continue to stir it throughout the 10 minutes, all right? All right, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna turn that off. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start adding our cheese. So I'm gonna start with our Parmesan cheese along with our smoked Gouda. Keep in mind, even though this thing is off, it still is pretty warm. So I wanted to keep that going so we can help melt this cheese. And we're gonna add our cheddar last. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix this all in until it's completely melted. There we go. Also, this is a great time for us to add I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding our cooked pasta. Don't have to worry about that. Make sure, I know you guys know you need to cook it first. And we're gonna throw that in there. I don't know what happened to my big spoon. I can't find it. So we're gonna get this bad baby all mixed together. I'll try to do as much as I can with this little bitty spoon. And let's start adding our bacon. Let's start giving that a good mix. And let's start adding our sausage. And we're gonna mix that bad baby up like that. And this is what we have. Let's continue to mix that until we get it all mixed in. This is what we have right here. Let you guys take it. You take this. Oh man, look at that. Oh boy, that looks great. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and get this over to a bowl. We're going to finish up this recipe. Now, what you can do is you can put this in an oven safe dish. You can Then get you some more cheddar cheese, maybe another half a cup of cheddar cheese or smoked Gouda. And you can put this in an oven safe dish, sprinkle some more cheddar cheese over it, put it in the oven and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you want it, if you want it in the oven, a lot of people like to eat theirs that way. But this right here is gonna be some creamy sausage and bacon cheese mac. So this is how we're gonna leave it right here. All right, so I'll be right back. And there you have it, guys. Creamy bacon and sausage mac and cheese. Listen, this is mac and cheese on steroids. And one thing I like about this is that, you could just eat this with nothing else. You can have mac and cheese because it has meats in it, has your sausage, has your bacon in it. So you could just eat this as a small meal, or you could add it with something else. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's delicious. I'm telling you, I really like eating my mac and cheese this way. Besides, I love Kaneka sausage and I love bacon and I love mac and cheese. So what better way to put them all together and combine it and eat it as one meal like this? So now I do have the ingredients there in the video description below, along with the measurements, guys. Go ahead, check it out. Links to the ingredients if you don't have them. So if it's your first time here, consider subscribing if you like recipes like this. And also if you like easy appetizer and you love wings, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and subscribe. If everybody else, like this video if you like it. And before I get out of here, I'm gonna take a bite of this right here. Oh man, we don't want nothing to fall out. We don't want nothing's going to waste of this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. When I do this, guys, these shots end up being my thumbnail. I'll be like, oh man, that looks good. Like this looks good, man. Look at that. That looks good. Let me take it. Take a look inside of that. This is delicious. Man, the sausage in them. All right, so I'm out of here. I gotta go. I'm gonna finish this. And until then, I'm your cook, Spinelli, all wings, everything, and I am out. Peace.